to look at data source and distinguishing between data source and site of service. Currently, payment year 2018 is using exclusively version 22. 85% is coming from RAPS and fee-for-service, and the site of service is irrelevant, physician, outpatient, inpatient. That 15% is coming from EDPS and fee-for-service, and again, physician, outpatient, inpatient. Version 23 is not in play. So, as we move into next year, and again, we have to remember this started 7/1/17 through 6/30/18 is going to feed January of 2019. So it will be catch up for a while, and I don't mean the like kinds of variety. So if you look at payment year 2019, 75% of the data is going to come from RAPS and fee-for-service, all sites of service. When you get down to version 23, you'll notice the physician and outpatient from RAPS and fee-for-service are not there. There is one field that's in both, and that is inpatient. So you're going to have your inpatient from RAPS and fee-for-service. You're also going to have your inpatient from EDPS and fee-for-service. So, and then the outpatient and physician. So what's happening is, if you don't have your outpatient, how do I say this? If you don't have your outpatient and physician data in your EDPS side, you're going to lose 25% of that payment for version 23. So again, 75% from version 22, 25% from version 23, and that's going to increase as time goes on, which means we're going to be moving away from the RAPS and fee-for-service to EDPS and fee-for-service, and we can only hope that they continue to take inpatient from RAPS as we move forward. And CMS has given us information we'll look at in a moment on the next slide about why they did this for this transition. So however you're going to do this, whether you do it in-house, whether you outsource it, whether you contract with someone, you have to make sure that your inpatient data is as robust as possible so that you get 100% of your inpatient data in and get payment on that. You also have to make sure that whatever you would have put on a RAPS file, or whatever you did put on a RAPS file for physician and outpatient, is reconciled to what's on the EDPS side for physician and outpatient, because 25% of that will be from EDPS, and that will be growing. So the question is, why is CMS supplementing the EDPS data with inpatient? Well, here's exactly from the call letter, and they said amending the inpatient from encounter data with inpatient from RAPS will improve the completeness of the data. So they envision that the inclusion of this RAPS data in the encounter risk score is temporary, and in addition to improving the completeness, it'll minimize any impact from incomplete for the remaining plans that face operational challenges in submitting encounter data. This goes directly to why they feel the impact for this year, or for 2019, will only be a negative 0.04%. So again, in the past, you had all sites of service, all data sources. Now, inpatient data is critical, as it always has been. So let me just again state, whether you do it yourself, whether you engage a third party, it's worth the effort to get all those inpatients. And it is much easier to get multiple inpatient diagnoses on in a RAPS file than it is in a EDPS. You should pursue it, and you should reconcile it. And that goes for all sites of service and all data sources.